I may go back and edit in the description after I quit
Yeah,
talking.
that's easy to do.
That way I can put links and stuff in it.
Really simple to do.
Oh, I don't get that.
Okay, so I'm gonna load in zombies. I'm sorry, Nazi zombies.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, them being zombies isn't bad enough. We're gonna make them, we're gonna make them Nazi zombies, and on top of being, like, flesh eaters that want our brains and stuff, we're gonna make them racist.
Yeah, because that's the thing. That is a thing now.
And while we're playing zombies, we can get into our topic of our top 5 for the week on this new series. For those tuning in, I'm Lou, my co-host here, Monk, and this is our first weekly stream of our top 5s. Where's social? There you are. Your invite is sent.
In this second, I'm starting my broadcast as well.
Okay, and once you're ready to load in, we'll kick this thing off.
All right, and we are live. Hello, hello, welcome everybody.
So, we're going to see how long me and Monk can survive.
I'm gonna die.
I will probably be the one that dies.
That's just what's gonna happen.
Hey, earlier we did well.
Oh, man. Yeah, actually, I was gonna say after you left, I just kind of messed around and didn't help at all for a few rounds. But that lobby we were in, we made it to
Okay,
8 rounds.
you are in.
18, 20 something, I think. Pretty nice.
So let's see if I can.
I am. Oh yeah, I am. How about that?
Okay.
Oh, actually,
Oh, snap.
I can change real quick.
Alright, so we're going to go to the final Reich and kick this off. Okay, so our top 5 for the week. We are going with the top 5 worst superhero movies. So, in the comments section, let us know your least favorite superhero movie as we're doing this. Okay, so number 5. I don't know about you. Okay, this is really tough because there's a lot of really great superhero movies, but a whole bunch of crappy ones as well. My number 5, I'm going with Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman and Robin. Okay, George Clooney, bat nipples on the bat suit. Okay.
I knew you were going to mention that.
I mean, seriously, that's like the worst thing.
Yeah.
And not only that, the over dramatic bulge. Because that's there too.
Yeah, so, it kind of just draws your eyes to it. It's like you don't. It
really does.
But you have to look.
So that's my number 5. I mean, it's humorous. but in a bad way.
Right. I mean, I kind of disagree, but then I kind of agree. I mean, it wasn't a great movie, but I did enjoy it. Maybe not Clooney as Batman. I mean, they could have made a better choice. But what can you do?
Okay, so what is your number 5?
My number 5 was Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
It was alright. Tobey Maguire, I don't think makes the best Spider-Man, but the first two wasn't horrible movies. The third, I just feel like they kind of gave up on it a little bit. The Venom Spidey suit was just horribly wrong. I didn't like the character of the Sandman. I think they could have wrote that character out a little better. It seemed like they kind of gave up on it, but they had to make another anyways.
Okay. Well, see, with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man movie with him in it is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, I love the first two. They were great. I kind of enjoyed the third one, but you know, I wouldn't have been upset if they hadn't made it.
All right. So number 4, I'm gonna go with the latest Fantastic Four.
Ooh, okay.
Can't afford this. Not enough energy.
And like, how can I put this? I don't believe it was the acting that made it terrible.
Right.
It was it was drawn out. It was probably the worst Origins film I've seen.
I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm probably going to agree with everything you're going to say.
Yeah.
Because I have it on my list too. I just have it a little higher.
So, but I didn't want, like, the reason I can't put it higher on the list is because I like the acting in it. For what it, you know, for the script they were given. The cast that they chose wasn't a bad cast.
Mm-hmm.
It was legit just the script, the storyline, and the way they portrayed Doctor Doom.
Oh,
like,
that
all
was
together just made the movie just, I don't want to say unwatchable, but close to it.
Yeah, I feel you.
So that's my number 4. What is yours?
My number 4 was Catwoman.
Okay.
I could have put it higher, but I decided just to stick with number 4. But it seemed like a failed attempt at a Catwoman movie. It's like you could have pretty much just put her in a different costume and you would have had the same story, and it would have just been a decent action movie. There was not really much tying it to Catwoman other than say, oh, she's got mystical cat powers now. You don't really see Batman. There's no kind of back and forth with Batman and other.
Jesus.
Story I didn't think was great.
Oh, I'm losing host migration. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see that.
Alright, so, yeah.
But the one saving grace was Halle Berry and pretty nice.
Oh, that is no saving grace.
Oh, I just got kicked to the game.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got a We're stopping the broadcast.
Oh, trap.
No, I'm not saying that, you know, that was saving the movie by any means, but I wasn't upset that I had to make it another very impressive.
Okay.
There could have been worse ways to spend my time.
All right.
There could
So,
have been better ways to spend my time than watching that movie.
as I'm dying with no ammo in my pistol, and these other people not wanting to revive me. Oh, he's reviving me now. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So, let's hit our number 3s. My number 3, when it comes to worst superhero movies, I'm gonna have to go with Green Lantern.
I hear you. I'm not going to disagree with that.
Meaning I'm not like everybody else that thinks it's the worst superhero movie, because I got, like I said, a couple more that I consider worse. For Green Lantern, the reason I consider this my number 3 is on top of a terrible script and them trying to turn Green Lantern into a joke, which Ryan Reynolds is a great actor, okay?
Yeah.
But Ryan Reynolds is not the guy we need for Green Lantern.
No, I agree with you.
Green Lantern is not a comedic character, in my opinion.
Not usually, no. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, that's my favorite superhero. And I don't have, like, having a Vic or save the Flash or, you know, somebody else that you would normally expect to get around.
So, and the CGI in it was terrible. The CGI suit, I mean, just all together, just all terrible.
Right.
For me, the saving grace of that movie was Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I liked seeing some of the secondary characters and stuff like that on screen, and I like seeing Green Lantern on screen, but I wish we would have had it in a different capacity.
Feel free to invite me.
So, you're number 3.
Well, before that, I want to say that
Okay.
I'll probably bring up some of the same thing. But my number 3 was Fantastic.
Okay.
As you said, Dr. Doom, I thought it looked crappy. Like, that is not at all how I remember Dr. Doom being from what I've seen of Fantastic Four.
Right.
The acting wasn't bad.
They really...
it was long and drawn out.
Now, I will say, I cannot remember her name, but the actress for, for Invisible Girl, Invisible Woman, whatever. I preferred this one over the original. I feel like
Yeah.
I just feel like she was a better actress all the way around. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Jessica Alba. She's easy to look at, but she's not a superhero. So,
I just didn't seem really. I mean, I know it's movie, but it just seemed really.
alright, so number 2. Which one is your number 2?
My number 2 was the Hulk. The Hulk with the Hulk down.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I'll probably take that, but in my opinion, it got mixed reviews for me. A lot of people like the Hulk. But I just felt like it was too much of a love story. I mean, I know there's going to be some kind of function story, but it was just, that's like all it was. It was like a big clip with a Hulk.
Okay.
Eric Bana, I personally think was the best Hulk that they could cast, and the CGI I wasn't really impressed with. But maybe I was just asking.
Alright. So, my number 2, and this is one you're not going to be happy with. X-Men Origins. Wolverine. Okay. With my list, I would have to say when you look at like comic book movies and look at source material, this was literally the worst movie when it comes to staying true to source material.
Well, I can't say too much about what we're going to do. I do enjoy them, I just never really had that opportunity.
Like, come on, you just literally stapled Deadpool's mouth shut.
Yeah.
Gave him Wolverine-style swords, coming out of your arms, and then gave him a Cyclops-like power. Like, you can't do that. I mean, just all the source material, period, was just all terrible.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Don't get me wrong. Okay. Wolverine is a great character and everything, but on top of them just creating too many Wolverine movies, from the get-go, and then giving us something like Origins it was a bad move.
Yeah.
All the way around, and that's why it is number 2 on my list.
Yeah, they kind of went all in with it. Like I was hoping for more different movies. Like, give me Gambit, my personal favorite X-Men. Give me a story that.
Now I will say, seeing Gambit in the Wolverine movies was great. Don't get me wrong, there was some good in the Wolverine movies, but
I wasn't impressed.
Ruining Deadpool, ruining some of the other characters, that type of thing. You're getting put at the top, towards the top of my list.
I didn't even think about that. I was thinking about movies. That was very disappointing when I seen Deadpool. I'd seen him and I was like, that's Deadpool. And I was like, wait, that's not Deadpool. And then, it's Deadpool. Sadly enough.
Okay, so before we get to our, this is top 5 worst superhero movies, so instead of honorable mentions, we're going to have dishonorable mentions. But before we do that, we've got a comment here, and it is Keegan Harris, and he is listing his top 5, and I'm going to try to do this while playing, and I'm out of ammo all the way around. Oh my god, completely out of ammo, guys. I cannot remember how to whip out the shovel.
Right on the default.
Got it. Okay.
If you have the one ability, you hit your LMR, you can shoot without reloading, you don't even have to have
I'm trying to live, but I So, his top 5, I'm pretty much dead, so this makes it easy. His top 5 worst superhero movies is Spider-Man 3, Elektra, Batman and Robin, Hulk. Iron Man 3 is your worst?
Ooh.
That's that's different. I don't think I've ever seen that at the top of anybody's list. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know it had its flaws, but that's crazy. Okay. That is crazy. But, you know, everybody's got their least favorite for a reason. So, well, let's talk about, you know, honorable mentions. You know, movies that are terrible, but they weren't quite bad enough to top the lists. Okay? I'm gonna have to say, let's put Elektra and Daredevil together. Okay? Because they pretty much spawned from the same. The reason I won't put these at the top of my list is because of the acting alone. The acting in the movies weren't terrible. Like, when you look at Affleck, you know, he did what he could. I mean, granted, his script was terrible. That was probably one of the worst scripts that, you know, we've seen in superhero movies, and same with Elektra. Just the scripts and everything all together were just all terrible. So those will be, you know, up there, but not quite top 5 for me. Because at least in Daredevil, they stayed close to the character, you know, that is Daredevil. So my other dishonorable mention that I'll have to say is Batman versus Superman.
Right.
You know, Batman's a great superhero, and I love a lot of the Batman movies. But, you know, to say that pretty much 2 Batman movies are in my tops, you know, for worst movies or whatever, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But when the reason being for Batman versus Superman is because of the clutter. It was the worst cluttered superhero movie that I think I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not saying the acting is bad. I'm not saying the characters are bad. It was legit just because of the clutter and the script. And let's not to mention Doomsday. Like, I love the Doomsday storyline in the comics, but Doomsday versus Superman should have been its own movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the last thing for Batman versus Superman would be the Martha thing. You just pinned these 2 people up against each other who are legends, and they stopped fighting because of the name Martha. Like, Batman and Superman have fought, I think the last time I looked was like 15, 16 times in the comics. Not one single time did it end because of a name.
I've never heard of that.
Which, that's why that would be... Keegan wants us to talk about how much Lex Luthor was just a creep in the movie. You know, a lot of people hate me for this comment, but I actually like Lex's character in the movie because he was cynical. And I know it wasn't Lex Luthor. I know, you know, because that's like one of the characterizations that they got wrong in the movie. But that the way they done the character was actually humorous to me.
Yeah.
But he is a creep. I'm being chased, and I got hit.
Yeah, I had that as one of my honorable mentions. But when I was watching it, I was busy because it just didn't touch me enough that I could put that into it. So there wasn't a lot I could talk about.
Alright, so give me your dishonorable mentions.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Really?
That was another one. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's horrible, but it felt kind of like they just tried to put Spider-Man out there. They just keep putting Spider-Man out there. Like they were going to use it like he could or something, so they just had to kind of toss something out there. No, I'm not saying it's horrible, so I didn't make a list. But there was a lot that I don't remember about it, so apparently I didn't get into it.
See, I actually liked Amazing Spider-Man. I like the fact that we got like Gwen Stacy, where we hadn't got her before, and there was a lot of aspects about those movies that I actually liked. Okay, so is that your only... Is those your only dishonorable mentions?
No, I got two more.
What you got?
Totally dishonorable. They're dishonorable. No, let's see, Amazing Spider-Man. The Hulk from 2008 with Evan Whitney.
Okay.
I wasn't too good. It just seemed like another bad attempt at a Hulk movie. Now it's better than the first one. I mean, I'm a fan of Evan Whitney. I still feel they could have done better.
I honestly just don't think that there is any way that you can properly make a Hulk movie.
No, I mean, if you do, at least have a lot of role play in it. I'd like to see one with, it's something I don't know a whole lot about, but what is it? Like the Hulk War, World Hulk, where he's fighting when he's tournament.
Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, that type of thing, yeah. And
I'd like to see something along that line, because Hulk is
now,
just a beast, he gets mad,
I will say, no spoilers or anything, but in the new Thor movie, you actually get a taste of what, and it's hilarious and enjoyable, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that one.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I'd still like to see just a straight Hulk movie, and you kind of see the build-up and get into that, and then from there you can branch it out wherever you want to go. Or you just make a one-and-done Hulk movie.
Keegan is mentioning TMNT from 2014. You know, I was disappointed with that one as well. And you know, seeing as it had one of my favorite actors in it, you know, I thought it was going to be a lot better. You know, seeing as they had Stephen Amell, but you know, that didn't turn out the way everybody saw or thought it would. Plus some terrible CGI.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I hate the way the turtles look.
From it being just a movie to watch, I enjoyed it. But as far as Ninja Turtles movie, no, it was not. CGI was horrible. I personally like
the 90s, yes. Okay. So we went through this. So let's get to our number ones. My number one was actually mentioned by you earlier. I'm going to go ahead and say my least favorite, what I think the most terrible superhero movie is Catwoman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm out of ammo everywhere.
I almost switched that out with
and I didn't want to mention too much because where I had it coming up on my list when you mentioned it earlier. Okay. Worst costume, terrible acting. I'm sorry, Halle Berry was absolutely horrid. Okay. She was horrible. Like, I'm not like most people. I do not think Halle Berry is hot. I never did.
But
So to me, she's not even easy to look at. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind seeing women in, you know, straight up leather and latex and all that stuff. That's alright. I'm not saying that's bad costume material, but the costume itself was just absolutely horrid. Like, and I'm sorry, when she was just like, meow, or however the heck she said done it, dude, it ruined the entire movie. I'm sorry, worst superhero movie created. It needs to be wiped off the planet.
No, I won't disagree with that.
So,
I mean, I'm not saying the costume is great either. But like, if I were to pick a Catwoman, I would say Halle Berry was better as Storm. You know, she's already got her superhero role. I thought she was fine as Storm. If I was to pick the Catwoman, I'd have to go with probably Michelle Pfeiffer.
oh, I mean, there's nothing bad. Seriously, there's nothing bad that you can say about her Catwoman.
Yeah, that was a fantastic Catwoman. She hit all the right notes.
So, that was my number one. What is your number one?
I think your number... No, yours. This is a different number. My number one is Green Lantern. Probably just for one reason that most other people won't mention, and that's because Green Lantern is my favorite character. Now, I was excited and I liked it because I got a Green Lantern movie that, well, you know, wasn't animated, which I like the animated movies. But I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit here and just blow smoke and say it's a great movie, because obviously we all know what was wrong with that movie. It's like nobody tried. Like, Ryan Reynolds, I like him as an actor. You know, he's not bad for a superhero role, but like you said earlier, he's not no Green Lantern.
He is not Green Lantern. So,
but you know, it's like the director didn't try, the script writers didn't try, nobody tried, so the actors couldn't do anything with it.
Right. Okay. So I told you I was going to ask you this. What is one movie that everybody thinks is terrible that you enjoy?
I can't say that, oh, wait a minute. I got my movies mixed up. I can't say that everybody hated this movie. I'm not sure if they did or not. But I liked Mystery Men. I thought it was a great movie.
Which one was that?
It's not your typical superhero movie. It was a 1999 superhero movie, and it's not your typical like Superman or something like that. It was kind of your, almost, I want to say like your backyard superhero movie. It was. Have you ever seen the movie Kick-Ass?
Oh yes, yes.
It's kind of like that superhero movie. They don't really have superhero powers, but you know,
Kick-Ass was
they still
fantastic.
dress up and do it. But at the end of it, you know, spoiler alert, at the end of it, they do end up doing some fantastic stuff.
Okay.
But it's great because you got Ben Stiller, you have Janine Garofalo, you have Kel Mitchell is in it.
Hardcore team deathmatch.
I can't remember his name right off the bat.
Advance and take position.
He's in it. You got a great cast of people. It's got some dark qualities to it. It just hit a bad time for hero movies because that was not long after the Bat Nipples.
Okay. All right.
So that just kind of set a bad mood.
So for me, a movie that a lot of people think is terrible that I enjoy is Spawn.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is about the movie. You know, live action Spawn, okay? I'm not saying it's a perfect movie. It's not. It had its flaws and everything. But I enjoyed the movie. Like, I enjoy watching it. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Spawn's one of my favorite superheroes anyways. And I cannot wait for the new one. But I do enjoy the first Spawn movie.
Right.
Dang it. Okay, so the other question I was going to ask you was a superhero movie that everybody likes or loves that you dislike.
Oh yeah, I would let you go ahead and you do yours because I wrote down another one that people really didn't like that I liked because I wasn't thinking properly when I done it. So I'm trying to scramble for one real quick.
Mine is Civil War.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot of people love Civil War, and I don't knock them for liking it or anything, but you know, I had about 2,000, 3,000 comics that that I'd collected over the years, and the biggest set that I had was almost 200 Civil War related comics.
Yeah.
And I knew the story. I knew pretty much the whole story. So when I watched the movie and a lot of it was wrong, it put a sour taste in my mouth. And even stuff with like, Cap was supposed to die at the end of it. I know a lot of people didn't want to see him die, but that's a huge part. And I'm absolutely doing terrible on this team deathmatch.
Oh, I didn't even notice you switched it up.
I switched it up to Team Deathmatch, but I'm doing terrible, so that's okay. But yeah, so Cap was supposed to die, Bucky was supposed to pick up the shield, Crossbones was supposed to live. There was a lot wrong with the movie, but, it's me. I disliked it, but, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, you like what you like, you don't like what you don't like.
So, did you think of one for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a reach, because it's one that I haven't seen in a
Oh, I just killed my teammate.
But, and if I remember correctly, I don't think it was very popular with a lot of people. But I enjoyed it. It was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, it was a solid movie.
If I remember correctly, I may not be, but I don't think it was popular with a lot of people. Just because, I don't know, maybe too many characters or something that didn't really get good story arcs. Kind of bundled them together. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't think too much of it. I didn't really know much about it going into the movie, and I didn't know much about it going out of the movie, but I had a good time watching it.
Alright. So, I'm gonna finish this game of Team Deathmatch, before I shut the stream off. So anybody still watching or that watches it later, in the comments below, just as Keegan has done, tell us, let us know what your, least favorite superhero films are, and all that. I would also like to take this time to mention that my co-host here, Monk, will be making an appearance on our other series on Sunday, the Nerd Out. It'll be... You do plan to win.
I'm gonna try.
The Nerd Out is, like, if you haven't watched it, please check it out, watch it. But Monk will be on there, and I did absolutely terrible, and I'm going to let everybody see how terrible I did here in just a minute. But you will be here on Sunday doing the Nerd Out. So, hopefully you've prepped for it, because it shall be pretty good.
I have.
So I went 7-16. That is absolutely terrible, but not as bad as 4-15 as this guy below me did.
That's all right.
Keegan, I didn't care too much for Age of Ultron either.
Yeah, I should have just said Civil War, or yeah, I should have said Civil War for mine because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
So, next Thursday we will be doing another Top 5 show. Monk is my co-host. Monk, have you picked out the topic yet?
No, not yet, but I was thinking about possibly doing top 5 favorite video games.
Oh, we can do it. So next week, top 5 video games. Um, so be sure to check out next Thursday's stream and Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The Nerd Out will be live. It'll feature Monk and a buddy of ours named Kita. They're the second first round bout. Then we'll have one more after that. Then the losers will be voted on, and we'll have a wild card match to determine who the final 4 are for the first series. The winner of Keegan, if you want to join the conversation next week, just get with me and we will discuss it.
Yep. And feel free to leave comments.
Yeah, leave comments, like, share, comment, all that good stuff.
In this video.
With that being said, make sure you watch the Nerd Out. It is my channel's #1 series.
Fantastic series.
So I've been told. A lot of people have enjoyed it. So I'm hoping it kicks off a little bit more. We will be doing this top 5 thing every week. The times will vary, so just, stay tuned to our channel. Now, in the comments below, also make sure you put any top 5s that you want to hear us discuss. And we'll do anything. It doesn't have to be video games or superheroes. Comment below and tell us. We'll top 5 music artists. It doesn't matter. Give us something to discuss. Join into the conversation. And
feel free to leave those comments on this video on my channel as well.
So we'll get it going, and hopefully we can all have a good time doing it. Until next time, you guys be good.
Peace.